Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Myra Sasebo, and my last name has an unusual spelling, Salcedo, and usually when I find anybody with that spelling, we find out we're related somehow. My husband had one parent come from Mexico and one from Cuba. So in Mexico, some of his relatives are CIDO. So yeah, it's different. And everybody, I've been in your class today, and I need to change due dates on the task schedule. I had some things that were due earlier than was on the task schedule, but don't wait. Go ahead and do the easy little assignments first. Everybody's just about done it, completed. Showing your ID, where you just need to hold an ID up to the camera like this, and don't cover up your name or the ID number. If it's a driver's license, you can block out certain things. I need to see the expiration date, your name, and the license number. And this is required by the state. It's saying that you are saying, I am the person that is taking this online course. So just about everybody's done that. Don't wait until the last minute to do these little assignments, because things are going to start speeding up. First week is a bit slow because I have movement in and out of my classes, and if I have one student just starting today, and that person needs to jump in and write a class introduction. I like knowing where everybody's from. I think I have almost the whole town of Palacios and Presidio enrolled in my course, which is awesome. I wish I could travel and go to the schools, but traveling is really bad, especially people from our area. COVID is just really high here. So I like to know where everybody's from, and I mark it down next to your name, and that way if something happens, I know what's going on. Like I had students in New Orleans last semester, and right now there's a evacuation going on because of a hurricane that's going to hit this weekend. So I know if you're in some kind of condition like that, you're not going to be able to have internet access. If your city goes without power, when we had the big Texas freeze, then I have an idea of what's going on, and then I won't panic when I don't hear from everybody right away. Well, I will panic a little bit. I'm just that kind of person. So yeah, I like to keep tabs on everybody. The book club is very confusing. I need to find where it's mentioned in this course as collaboration. Teachers put the course together, and some teachers have like 5 or 6 books and students choose one, and I have 2 1301 classes, so I just went ahead and picked one book for everybody, so you don't need to jump in and get signed up for a book club and get left out of a group. That won't happen. I will divide people into groups to look at different things in the book. And the book is Stephen King, The Long Walk. I don't know if it's available electronically. It might be. It's an older book, so you might be able to rent it. And he wrote it in 1979. So it's a while back, and if you've seen The Hunger Games, if you've read it, great. Reading is good too, besides just watching movies. So The Hunger Games is not that original once you read this. And this is not that original. It goes back to The Lottery, a story that I'll put in the course. It's short, but I believe it was Shirley Jackson that wrote that. And it predated Stephen King's writing, so it's like there's almost nothing new under the sun. when it comes to writing, you just end up making things to your vision. Uh, and also, I have the book Stephen King on writing for this course. There'll only be a couple chapters to read on that. And since there is so much reading, this may seem like a long book to you. 300 pages, 311 to be exact, but it's not tough going. It's not tough reading. It's a page turner, and it gets you immersed in reading. And I will move down the date, extend the due date for the book club since the book is long, and I think the book club assignment is due in October, and you've got other papers to do. So your first paper will be a literacy autobiography about how you learn to read and write. And I will talk more about that in another video. The second paper will be an interview with somebody who does writing on the job. Could be a teacher, could be a coach. It's better not to interview someone in your own family, but I have had students write great papers interviewing someone in their family, say if their dad is a pastor and he has to write sermons, so he does writing on the job. Even coaches do writing on the job, and it's even better if you pick a job that you want to go into, and you will be surprised and amazed, even if it's in the medical field, how much writing people do on the job. So the first paper is about you, any books you read that had impact in your life, your journey to literacy, whether it's in another language or something else. The second paper is interview with the writer. The third one is about the writing genre. Now, genre is just a nice fancy word for a category of writing. Say horror fiction, science fiction, dystopian literature, and we'll talk about dystopian because The Long Walk represents a dystopian society, and so does the Hunger Games. It's where people try to create this society, and it's the opposite of what a perfect society would be. Utopia is great. It means almost perfect, happy society. Dystopian is not. So the fourth paper is a group paper about writing. So everything, including the textbook embedded in your course called Reading About Writing, which is free. Yay, I helped write that and get it free. We need to work on more free books. So, but I'm no Stephen King, but I did get a story published in a horror fiction magazine years ago when I was a teenager. So it was a short story, and I kind of ripped off Stephen King a little bit. I'll be honest about that. Okay, so what you have coming up, try to get all those little things that are due by September 11th nailed down, and I will try to grade early. I've been grading early. Usually I wait till Sunday because everything will usually be due Saturday night just before midnight. That means you will have it done maybe the day before. Don't wait till the clock starts to wind down and something takes forever to load up and you miss being on time by a minute and the box closes. That is problematic. And I know you're thinking to yourself, I got all this time, I'll start later. Don't do that in online courses. They're rigorous. And also, the next thing you'll be reading is Barry Lopez has this piece on entering a new place. It's highly symbolic. It's short, but he writes like poetry. So everything stands for something else. So that's what you may have to read it 2 or 3 times. So people tell me it's frustrating to try to understand what he means. And he is the late Barry Lopez. He passed away in 2020, and I've been reading his works forever. So this is hanging on my wall. And it's symbolic. What is it? It's just a mask with roses, right? No, it's the kind of thing you would see at Dia de los Muertos. Roses can stand for romance, Valentine's Day, something you would take to a funeral. And the skull could be death. It can mean the afterlife. It can represent a lot of things. So there's a teacher that says that everything symbolizes something else in literature unless somebody tells you different. And there's no right or wrong answer, so you have free reign on saying what you think the symbols in Barry Lopez represent. There's no right or wrong answer. Don't worry about that. And please do not go on the internet and look for the answers. I know what's out there, and use your own thinking as to the best of your ability. Please don't use the internet. That's plagiarism. Even if you cite where you got it, you need to use your own thinking for for every assignment, and we will learn how to cite people, how to attribute their work to their sources. Credit where credit is due, and that'll be a huge part of the course, especially when you take 1302. So the other book you need is the team writing book, which I had in the other video. Not sure. Oh, yeah. Team writing, a guide to working in groups. And that's in your syllabus. And I need to recheck the syllabus and the task schedule in a few minutes. And like I said, normally I don't grade until the end of the week, but I wanted people to know, hey, I know you're there. Thanks for doing this early. And I am grading, and I will want everybody to have their class introduction in the discussion box by tomorrow, Saturday night. The blocking survey can be later. You do not need to respond to anybody in the blocking survey or introductions. However, when we get to Barry Lopez, the Inkshed one, that is when you need to respond to at least 2 other people and say more than, good job, I can't wait to see what else you're going to write. No, talk about what they said, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and why. So you should write a full paragraph to each of the 2 students that you need to write to, and all the ink sheds, pretty much you will be writing, and other people will be reading what you're writing, so keep that in mind so you don't put anything out there too personal and then regret it. And then you need to respond to them, engage with what they say. So this video is going long, and I know it takes a while to spool up, and I'll do one for each of the papers and more of what's to come. Maybe by Sunday I'll have another video up. So just keep going. Thank you to everybody working ahead, and I will see you at the next video.